Obviously, if you watch the game, you know it wasn't one of our better days. I do think I'm proud of our team and the way we responded at halftime, being down 20 to make it a 10-point game and be in position in the fourth quarter to make it competitive. I think was a good accomplishment for our team. But did some good things. I thought we did, really played one of our better games in special teams. I think Coach Powage and our coaches did a really good job, executed the plan well, had a good plan. I think defensively we did much better in terms of stopping the run. We did give up some explosive passes throughout the day, which obviously were a difference in the game. But offensively is where, in my opinion, we really came up short. Weren't able to overcome a slow start. And really, when we go back and look at the tape, it's decision-making, technique, fundamentals, it's communication, and just a poor level of execution. So I do think we can coach better. There's 4 or 5 calls maybe I'd like to have back. But in general, Troy's got a good team, and when you play a team like that, you got to play at a high level, and we did not. So I do think that we were competitive, and it was a ball game down to the end. So we got a group that fights. They stick together. They compete. They when adversity hits them, they fight back, and I'm proud of that. I think that's an accomplishment within itself. So we're going to move forward here. 3 games to go, and really in position of where we can continue to, if we continue to play well and we can put together 3 wins, we'll be where we want to be at the end of the year. But that starts with a Georgia State team that comes in here and plays at 4 o'clock this weekend. So got our hands full with this offensive group. They've scored at a pretty consistent rate. Lots of total offense and quarterback and a group of skill players that can present some issues for us. They got a dangerous returner. And on defense, they, over time, have presented a number of issues for other teams. So with that being said, we'll take a few questions here.
Georgia's taking to be one of those teams that tries to take the run away from you, and how will that impact things?
Well, they've got a pretty good identity on defense. I think that their coordinator does a really good job, and I think that they play with effort and toughness, and they run to the ball, they tackle well, but certainly, they're gonna run their core system. That's what they do. That's what they've done every week this year. So, with us, it's about balance. It's about playing well up front. It's about getting the runner to the second level. It's about playing good at quarterback, distributing the ball to the skill players that we have, and that's what we'll try to do Saturday.
I think Nunez got sacked 5 times. What needs to get cleaned up there? Is that more what was happening in the trenches, or was that part of that decision-making too, or what was going on there?
Well, I think some of those were at the end of the game, when it was a 10-point game with 47 seconds left. So, you can do a lot of things there, and we chose to drop back and try to create a play. But, we gave up a couple of sacks within the game, and I think we had some communication issues and some technique issues. Maybe could have got the ball out of our hand at times a little better, but Troy did a good job. They had a good plan. They disrupted the pocket, and Vic Koenig is a guy who has done a good job for a long time. It's not no surprise, but I do think that we had good conversations yesterday with our players about we can look back at that tape and say that we can fix the issues that we had. They're very correctable, and I think that gives us a little bit of resolve, I guess, going forward relative to what we can accomplish here in the next 3 weeks.
Schedule work with the scoring, 47.5 points at home and 19 on the road. I know Alabama, Mississippi State, App State, and Georgia were just all the good defensive teams on the road this year, you think? Or do you think there's an issue with home and road from your perspective offensively?
I don't know that for sure. I mean, those are 4 good defensive teams. So it probably has more to do with that than it does where we play. But I do think that we need to, we're quality controlling our road prep. I guess I would say. I mean, we're going to, no stone unturned, I guess is what I would say. Certainly have played good teams, but we did go to Texas State, and have a good day on offense. So I think that a lot of it has to do with, our preparation, our execution, playing against a little bit better opponent, a little bit better scheme, maybe, whatever the case may be. So I think Alabama, Mississippi State, Troy, and Appalachian State are probably all in the top, 35 in total defense and scoring defense. So that probably has to do more with it than anything.
Is Georgia State kind of dangerous since they pretty much are running out the string?
I think they are. I think they're a lot better than their record indicates. I think they're got some explosive skill players, and I think they're a team that, if they get ahead of you in the turnover margin, they can be dangerous. If you just look at the games that they played, whether it's Arkansas State, even the last couple of weeks, they're 35, 40, 30. They're scoring points here as of late.
Coach, were they more aggressive with a backup quarterback in the passing game than maybe y'all expected in the first half? And what did y'all do so much better defensively in the second half after looking at them?
Well, we can go. I think it was 13 points maybe in the first 12 plays or something of that nature, and really a couple of one-play touchdowns that were, one of them was a straight communication error. The other is just a technique issue, We knew going in they were going to take shots outside, and we didn't handle that very well. Obviously Eric Guerra not playing was a factor in the game. We got some guys out there that have limited experience, and they were able to make plays. But a lot of it has to do with their personnel and the location of the ball. They executed really well. A couple of times we're all over the guy, and the guy makes terrific plays, and he's one of the better receivers in our league. So I think the backup quarterback that they have has played a little bit better each week, and certainly played good this week.
You get Gare, Elijah, and Caskell back?
I think so. A lot of it will have to do. I'll be able to give you more of an update Wednesday after practice, but certainly those guys are going to participate. We'll see where they're at. I do think Eric did some things yesterday and today so far to where, he's going to be a guy that we'll watch this week and see if he's ready to perform. Eli will be in that same category. Certainly both guys have made progress. We're doing some things with those guys today that will give us a little bit more of a feel for what they can do tomorrow. But we do have, the typical bangs and bruises going into the week. I'll have a little bit more of an update on Wednesday.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think Haynes has come up with turnovers in the last 2 games, interception and a fumble recovery. Is it right place, right time, or is he just being a little extra aggressive, or what's going on there?
I think the guy's done a really good job. He's been in competition at safety. He's played in the mid-20s most weeks, but he's made the most of his opportunities. I think we've had a little bit banged up at weak safety with Blair Brooks being hurt. Percy Butler's been a little bit limited. So he's been able to make the most of his opportunities, and really a guy who has had a good year, in general. Does a good job on special teams, and a guy who does everything right throughout the week.
Anything else for Coach?
We do have, I want to say something about this weekend is Military Appreciation Day for our team and the university. I do think that it is a special opportunity for us to recognize those people that do so much for our country and our freedom. We are going to do some special things. We got a fireworks show at halftime. We are giving away 500 T-shirts to the first 500 students. We'll have a moment of silence between the first and second quarter for the POWs and MIAs, which I think will be a special opportunity and a great teaching opportunity and lesson for our players in terms of what those people do for us. So we will wear a different uniform combination for that reason specifically, and that will be a regular event here as long as I'm coaching here. So we're excited about this opportunity to recognize these people, and I think it's going to be a great day at Cajun Field at 4 o'clock. So coverage of that, I think, we would appreciate that on your behalf.
Did you guys talk about it when you had Terry Johnson earlier this season on the Army Guard for Senator McCain's
Absolutely. You know, and I think, I mean, we've had a number of events, you know, since I've been here that make this a special opportunity for us to recognize those people.